Welcome to the House here, brought to you by Stranded Sports. Nick, Connor, and Jack here once again for an express edition of this week's episode. And if you're looking for a face mask, we're all wearing masks because we have to at our school. But if you're looking for a mask, you buy the Red Rocket official Nick Henrik mask on Stranded Sports Teespring shop right now. That's called advertising. Anyway, big week 3. I think these are the toughest games you've had to pick so far. A lot of weird matchups of, is this team really that bad, or is this team that good? Is this team that good and this team that bad? A lot of questions. I keep sucking my mask in like it's a lollipop. Regardless, though, Dolphins-Jags kicking off the week. Huge game here. Huge game.
Very big.
Two titans, pun intended, of the football realm competing. This is what Thursday night was built on.
Yeah, games.
That we lose.
Jaguars, because I put money on them.
I'm going to say the Jags too, honestly, because I just haven't seen enough out of Miami. Granted, they played the Bills last week, and the Bills are a good team, but I think Minshew's going to run all over these guys.
I'm going to go with the Jaguars as well. That's going to clean up the house onto the house.
Oh, okay.
Not enough from the Dolphins.
Steelers-Texans. Are the Steelers really this good? Are they deserving of 2-0? Yeah, because they played two crappy teams so far. But, I keep saying but very emphatically. But they play the Texans, who are 0-2. But they lost to arguably the two best teams in the AFC. So, are they pretenders? Are they contenders? Are they confused? I don't know. You don't know. We'll find out Sunday. Steelers by 3.
Steelers. Till I die.
The Steelers. I think the Texans are pretenders at the moment.
Their offense has looked lost without DeAndre Hopkins. And
exactly. It just seems like that whole system has gone downhill with the loss of Hopkins.
We got Joe Burrow and the Bengals taking on Carson Wentz and the Eagles. I'm riding with Carson Wentz and the Eagles here. I think they're going to beat the Bengals, and Joe Burrow have to wait a little bit longer to get that first win.
I'm saying Joe Burrow gets his first win this week. This is a shitty Eagles team, and honestly, it's a shitty Bengals team too, but I think Joe Burrow is the catalyst that's going to put the Bengals over the Eagles.
I'm going with the Eagles this week. I just think that offensive line in front of Burrow is just too unsafe. Can't trust
Fair
it.
point.
49ers, a banged-up 49ers team, taking up but equally banged up in the fact that they lost their only superstar thus far, Saquon Barkley, to an ACL tear, or MCL tear, one of the two. Was it supposed to be ACL? But then it was ACL. Ethan, you know. ACL, right? ACL, that's what I thought. I thought then they changed it to MCL, but I was right with my instinct. 49ers take this one. Might not be pretty. Might lose a couple more guys because apparently that MetLife turf is just awful or something. But I hope everyone's safe, and I hope the 49ers win.
They should be used to that MetLife turf. You know, week here in New York, 2 weeks back-to-back in New York. They're actually at the Greenbrier in West Virginia spending the week. I'm going to go with the 49ers.
That was an interesting tidbit of information to know.
It's just the travel. You know, they don't have to travel all the way back to the West Coast.
You're right.
I think it makes it
You're right.
easier.
I'm going to make a wild card pick here. I'm going to do it. Everyone knows exactly what I'm going to do before I do it. I'm taking the Giants to beat up on a beat-up 49ers squad.
Here's a weird game, the first of many. Raiders and Patriots. The Raiders are 2-0. The Patriots are 1-1.
But the Patriots are also a 6-point favorite.
Which is very interesting considering that the Saints just lost in embarrassing fashion. The Saints! What happened to Who Dat Nation? What?
That Nation was not that great this week.
I wish I could see your face right now.
We're a nation. More like a small city-state on the cusp of revolution.
You're damn right. Screw it, Raiders. Raiders. We'll take the Raiders.
For you. I'm taking the Pats.
Raiders are very capable of winning this game, I think, after that Monday night game. But I'm going with the Patriots. I think Cam is going to run all over them.
Titans and Vikings, another weird one. The Vikings look decent against the Packers week 1. They get dismantled mostly because Kirk Cousins forgot how to play football last week. The Titans, what's going on with them? They quietly made it to the AFC Championship last year, and now everyone's like, what the hell's going on with them this year? I'm going to ride with the Vikings in this one.
I'm taking the Titans. I'm going to ride it out. I think Derrick Henry's going to be able to work his way into a couple of touchdowns, and I don't think Kirk Cousins is going to be able to bounce back after that. I feel like it's going to live with him a little bit.
I'm going to go with the opposite of you. I'm going with the Vikings in this game. I think they're going to have a bounce back week coming out of that 0-2 slump.
The Washington football team and the Cleveland Browns. Who do we think is going to win that game?
Brownies, I don't pick you much, but I swear to God, if you lose this game, you are dog.
I'm taking the Browns as well. They proved me wrong. I said they didn't show me anything in week 1. They came out week 2. Yeah, it was the Bengals, but they showed me that the offense could click. Let's see if they can do it against a slightly more competent team than the Bengals.
We all took the Bengals last week to beat the Browns. I'm going to go with the Browns in this one. Washington does not impress me.
Washington sucks.
Another very intriguing game coming up after these words from Ethan Morrison, our gambling expert. Ethan, take it away.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Ethan Morrison. Happy week 3. I'm back for yet another week to give you some gambling advice. Last week was not too hot, as I went 1-2. Bengals got a lousy backdoor cover late in the game to give you the spread, but I'm not complaining about that. I'm complaining about the Pittsburgh Steelers not being able to cover after taking a 17-3 lead into the half. I thought they had that game pretty much wrapped up, but, because of the defense, giving up some lousy penalties, taking some lousy penalties, mostly defensive pass interference, pretty much cost them that game. Should have had that. The Houston Texans Baltimore Ravens game that I had the over on, that could have went either way, but let's get into week 3. So the first game that I have today, or that's on Sunday, is the Tennessee Titans versus the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings have dropped their first 2 games of the season to Green Bay and the Indianapolis Colts. The Minnesota defense has struggled, and with Derrick Henry on the Titans, that has just been running like crazy the past 2 weeks, I think the Titans can cover a spread of -2 in Minnesota this week. The second game is the Detroit Lions versus the Arizona Cardinals. Doesn't look like anyone's going to stop the Arizona Cardinals as they beat the defending NFC champion 49ers in week 1 and then just dismantled the Washington football team in week 2. Kyler Murray continues to play as he has been the past 2 weeks. I think there's no problem in that covering a -5 spread. My third game in the 4:25 window is the Dallas Cowboys at the Seattle Seahawks. Dallas Cowboys, where do I even start with them? They held the Rams close in week 1, but last week they somehow came back against a Atlanta Falcons team that should have had that game pretty much wrapped up early on. I think since Seattle was able to beat Atlanta week 1 and then handle in my opinion, a pretty good New England Patriots team at home last week. So I think the Seattle Seahawks will win this game by 2 possessions at a -4 spread. That's all I got for this week. I hope to see you next week for more sports gambling advice.
All right, now you're probably wondering, what game are we talking about? We're talking about the Rams and the Bills. Ooh. The Rams are sneaky good. People thought they'd be trash. Some people thought, no, we're going to be good. The Bills, are they the team to beat in the AFC East? We're still kind of putting that all together. Very difficult game to pick. I'm going to go with my gut. Part of me really wants to take the Bills, but I'm going to take the Rams.
See, I wouldn't have done that. And that's because my brain has a higher cognitive ability. I'm taking the Bills. Josh Allen played too good of a game against a shitty team last week. I feel like he's just going to ride that momentum into this game against a good team. And I think that he's going to be able to do exactly what he did in Miami. Run the ball a little, throw the ball a little, and I think the defense is going to hold up as well.
Very great game this week. I really like this one. I'm going to go with the Rams, however. I just think that, like I was saying before last week, in fact, they're one of the few teams I think that came out of this pandemic with an advantage. They're clicking really well together. I think they're going to give the Bills a loss.
Click it or ticket. We move on. Bears and Falcons. It's an animal battle. Not a bird battle, but 2 animals going after it. Obviously, if a bear fought a falcon, the bear would lose. Well, the bear would win, excuse me.
Well, the bird would fly around, the bear would probably get tired, and then the bird could actually call in more birds to pick the bear apart. But that doesn't matter. When you lose a game, 440 teams before you had won in the same circumstance. You suck! And if you lose this game, you're the worst team to ever play football. Bears.
Whew. I was on the fence, but I'm going to go with the Bears now.
I'm going to go with the Falcons. I think they come out and they get that one.
They really blue-balled you that last week, and you're going to put your faith in them again this week?
They really did.
All right.
I'm going to put my faith in them again this week.
Well, here's another one. Panthers and Chargers. The Chargers with Justin Herbert. Tyrod Taylor, is he back? I don't remember what the injury report was.
I don't think after last week.
It's Tuesday night. That's as accurate as our information is. I don't care because McCaffrey's gone. Okay? I don't care. I love Teddy Bridgewater, but I think the Chargers, Justin Herbert, they get a big win. Look for Keenan Allen to do something big. Look for Austin Eckler to do something big.
I really like that.
I'm going to take the Chargers as well. Clear-cut decision. For me, at least.
I like that pick. I'm going to go with the Chargers, too. Herbert, I think, really impressed me last week against the Chiefs.
He looked poised. He looked ready.
He did. He looked ready.
I think the fact that it was short notice, maybe he didn't have time to get nervous. He just had time to get ready and say, let's do it. Let's raid.
Well.
All right, Jets and Colts. Colts. I'm not picking the Jets until they give me a reason to pick them.
Colts. Pretty clear there.
10-point favorites. Easy decision.
Is they the biggest favorite of the week?
Yes, they are.
Possibly.
The Seahawks and the Cowboys.
Seahawks.
A big game. Russell Wilson looks really good. That's good for my fantasy team because the rest of the team's not really good. I'm riding with the Seahawks, baby.
Got to be the Seahawks. Russell Wilson, 5 touchdown passes last week. Man, they're a dynamic offense. I'm going to go with the Seahawks.
Put it this way. I think the Cowboys would easily lose to the Patriots, and I think that with Seattle beating New England last week, you kind of get a scope on this game as a whole.
Buccaneers and Broncos. Who are we taking there? I'll tell you who we're taking. Not Blake Bortles and the Broncos. We're going with the Buccaneers. Tom Brady.
Yeah, I got to pick
in a weird way, weird way, a quarterback rematch of the 2018 AFC Championship game?
Yeah.
Oddly enough.
Jacksonville decided to go in AFC Championship and then do everything in their power to not make it back. I don't see the Broncos even making a case for them winning this game. I think Tampa's just a better all-around team, and I know Tom Brady's a more experienced quarterback and a better quarterback than Blake Bortles in any point.
Or Jeff Driscoll, unfortunately.
Yes.
Broncos are really good.
Let's
just put it that way. I'm going to go with Tampa.
All right. Across the board again. We didn't have many of them. Now we've had 3 in a row, I believe. Lions and Cardinals. You got to go with the Cardinals. One of the most impressive teams. Kyler Murray's been balling like MVP in the WWE. That ballin' term he always used to say. I loved him. He's back now, by the way. Cardinals, baby.
Cards.
Got to be the Cardinals.
Wow, that was quick.
I'm not picking the Lions.
Really like that one.
Now here's where it gets tough. The Packers and the Saints. Once again, I put money on one of the teams, and it was the Packers. So we're going to hope the Packers win and get a Saints team trying to find their new kind of identity after looking very confused and lost yesterday on Monday Night Football.
I don't think the Saints are going to be able to stomach a loss like that and go out and not put an effort in front of them they're not proud of. And I think the only thing that they're going to be proud of this week is a win. I'm taking the Saints.
I'm rolling with the Saints as well. Drew Brees really hasn't been like his usual self in the passing ratings and completion rates. I'm going with the Saints in a bounce-back game.
Oh, okay. Who that nation? Who that nation? I like 4 of the teams in the league. Who that nation? All right. I love you, by the way.
No, it's just Saints and Steelers.
Chiefs Ravens. This is a tough one because the Chiefs, they're playing a rookie, Justin Herbert. They didn't know they were going to be playing against him, but they took a while to get going, and they needed a lot of things to go their way to get back to that game against the. Oh my God, I just blanked. The Chargers. That's who they played. You know what? I said I was taking the Chiefs until they lost, but my guts tell me the Ravens again. But the difference between that and the earlier pick with my gut is that my brain's also telling me the Ravens. I'll go with the Ravens here in a shootout. Take the over.
I'm going with the Ravens at home. Although the Chiefs have really had their number, I think, in the past few seasons. I'm going to go with the Baltimore Ravens.
See, I can't justify picking the Ravens after what I know this Chiefs team is capable of. Also, with the emergence of rookies like Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Patrick Mahomes, not looking like he has missed even a quarter of a step from last year. I'm taking the Chiefs in this one.
Fair enough, fair enough. Now it is time for our Games of the Week. Connor, what's your Game of the Week?
My Game of the Week has to be that LA Rams-Buffalo Bills game. I think it's going to be a very close matchup. 2 teams that are playing very well right now. Good game.
I'm going to pick a game that's not the Chiefs and Ravens because I think that's obviously the Game of the Week. But the other game no one's talking about because of that matchup is Packers-Saints. And that's my Game of the Week. Jack.
My Game of the Week has to be New England and Las Vegas because this is such a coin toss of who will come out. You saw Cam play great, but you also saw the Raiders shock a team like the Saints. Game people wrote them off on. So I think it's going to be a very interesting matchup.
And that brings us to the closing segment. fantasy player to watch. Jack, taking a hiatus from fantasy, but if you weren't, who's your player to watch this week?
I gotta say that my player to watch this week is going to be Deshaun Watson. This is going to be a make or break game for this guy. Is he going to be able to put up points against a very aggressive Steelers D-line and a decent, I say decent, secondary in Pittsburgh? We'll find out on Sunday.
Very good. Connor, what do you got for us?
Mine surprisingly has to be Cam Newton. Although that Raiders defense did give Drew Brees a hard time this past week, I think Cam Newton really can prove himself. He's working well with that offense. I think this is a game that he could be very well in.
Literally any skill player on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in that game against the Broncos. That's mine. Literally any skill position.
Fair enough.
That's what we got. Anyway, we never set our records. So, last week, Jack went 13-4. I went 14-3. And Connor went 15-2. And now you're saying that adds up to 17 games, and there aren't 34 teams. If you recall, we all double dipped. We used one of our 3 double dips, which means we wager on a game. It has to be a different game for all 3 of us. And if we win, we count as 2 wins. And if we lose, it counts as 2 losses. We all won ours. So we all have an extra game in the win category as well. So the total records right now are Connor in first at 25-8, me in second at 24-9, and the defending champion at 22-11? I thought you had the deed in your other jeans. What's going on here?
Look, all I'm
Did
saying
you lose
is,
it all together?
Look, the rent has gone on a little longer than I thought, but it's okay. I'm in, conversations with my legal team to get the papers back for the property. Look, it's real estate. It's real estate law. It's very simple. It's not very complex. I can figure it out on the end. It's not really an issue for me. I don't even know why people are saying that it's really an issue.
This has been To The House. We will see you next week. I can't believe I did that, but I did it. Take care.